السماء جلالا فأزيد أسراب الغيوم جمالا.
ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال الله تعالى في كتابه الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منا زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. وقال تعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. اللهم أجرنا من النار. بسم الله. For today's khutbah, I wanted to share some things about something we recite all the time, something we say all the time, and I would argue we overlook majority of the time. And that is the gift that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to all of us, which is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And there is so much that can be said about Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So I hope that I can convey a few points to you, inshallah. First, the most common translation that you might be familiar with Bismillah is in the name of Allah. That is how it begins. In the name of Allah. We will go to Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim at the end of the khutbah, inshallah. When we say in the name of Allah, the word name is ism in that thing. That's what it has been translated as. But the Arabic word ism comes from the word wasam. And wasama in Arabic is a verb and it can mean two things. The first of which, it means a mark of some kind. Like if someone has so many animals, it could be anybody's horse. There are a lot of white horses. Is it yours or mine? They put a brand on it so that they know that this mark is unique to that animal. It distinguishes them from all the horses. The other meaning of wasam actually comes from wasama. And you get words like wasim or wisam, which means beauty. So combining these points, not only there is a mark, that it's a mark of beauty, there are two things that come with that word. When we say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, we are acknowledging something about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That every single one of His qualities, that everything He does is unique to just Allah. And it cannot be confused with anybody else. The way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows His mercy, the way He guides all of us, the way He provides for all of us, the way He plans for all of us, anything that He does is unique to Him. And it cannot be compared. That is His unique mark. That's the first thing. The second thing is that whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does, whether you understand it or not, it has beauty in it. Everything Allah does has beauty in it. Now let's take this a step further. When we say in the name of Allah, instead of just mentioning Allah, just calling on Allah, actually invoking on the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. The uniqueness of Allah, the beauty in all the qualities of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just by saying ism. Like Imam Alusi, rahmahullah, he commented saying that the ba in basmala is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help, is asking for help. So when you say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, you are asking for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help. But humankind, we need different kinds of help. When you're sick, you need someone to cure you. When you're tired, you need someone to relieve you of your stress. When you're confused, you need someone to clarify for you. When you don't know, you need someone to educate you. When you're lost, you need someone to guide you, and so on and so forth. It's not one kind of help that you need. If you're hungry, you do not need to be educated at that moment. You need to be fed. It's a different kind of help that you need for that particular situation. So when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for help, at different occasions of any kind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with every single name that He has possible. For example, Al-Hadi means the one who can guide. So of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us. He will guide us. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls Himself the provider, Ar-Razzaq, the one who provides over and over again, then obviously from that name, we will understand that He will give us provision. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls Himself Dhul Quwwatil Mateen, the one who has extended might, extended power. I am weak, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the strength, so let Him bestow some power upon me so I can complete whatever I need. So every one of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's names gives us a different kind of help. But when we wake up in the morning, just getting out of the bed, the first thing that should be on our tongues is saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Just like that. Like, you do not need to think about which name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do you need right now. Do you need the strength to get out of the bed? Do you need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide you in that morning? Do you need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to plan your day for you? Do you need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to provide halal rizq for you? Do you need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you peace and serenity in your family, to give you security? Which name of Allah should you call upon? And that is a gift Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us just by using the word ism. It includes all of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of the unique qualities and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of the beautiful things about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala you just included with just the word isms, whether you thought about it or not. This is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jalla. This brings us to our next point where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى فَدَعُوهُ بِهَا. For Allah says that He has the most beautiful names, so call upon them. But look at how many names Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, written and not written. Not everybody will know all the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we all need them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us this gift, Bismillah. Just by Bismillah, we already called upon all of His names, just by saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And then the second point is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. That Allah is the greatest parallel, the greatest example. And sometimes to appreciate what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does for you and I, because what He does is so unique. For example, if we were to call on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Razzaq, Bismir Razzaq, just call on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name, Ar-Razzaq, that's it. You're only appreciating Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what? The fact that He provided you for something. You didn't appreciate the fact that He guided you, that He protects you, that He secures you, that He gives you good friends, good family, that He gives you knowledge, that you are a Muslim, that He gave you health, that He gave you a job. All of these different things, you didn't appreciate that. You just reduced Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to one of the many things that He does for us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept us from reducing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself, because that is offensive to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We wouldn't even know. وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ. That He taught you what you could have never known. We wouldn't have even been praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It would have just been offensive to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It would not be enough. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives us Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, He gives us this phrase, and now when you call on this phrase, the believer is supposed to be filled with gratitude. We're supposed to feel overwhelmed in how much and how many ways Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has helped us, and how many ways He will help us, how many ways He'll provide for us. There are no relationships like this one. For example, you go to your teacher for knowledge. You go to your parents for support. When you're young, for provision. You go to different people for different things, for different agendas. When you go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you go to Him for every single thing possible. There is not one thing missing that you and I turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for. That's the first part of the equation, Bismillah. Just by calling on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Bismillah, we are expressing our love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and acknowledging that we truly have a love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of our problems will feel like nothing. We all have problems. Some of us have problems with your children maybe, with your money, with your health, with extended family, with your friends. You have legal problems, you have immigration problems, business, so many problems in life. But when you call on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remove that tension from your head. Replace it with their alliance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything will get sorted out. Everything will work. Because you have this gift given from the heavens, subhanallah. If you look at it, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, it's used in almost every single beginning ayah of the surah. Every single time, majority, except one exception. But there is this one time where it's used in the middle, in the story of Sulaiman alayhi salam. إِنَّهُ مِن سُلَيْمَانَ وَإِنَّهُ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ الرَّحْمَنِ الرَّحِيمِ. Did you ever think about that? Sulaiman alayhi salam, he's about to transfer the throne of another queen thousands of miles away in just a blink of an eye. Less than a blink of an eye, sorry. And he says this is because of Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. What is Allah teaching us over here? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do that, when someone truly believes in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, then you and I have no reason to become a pessimist. A Muslim is not supposed to feel depressed because he has this gift. A Muslim is not supposed to feel compressed and defeated knowing that he has Bismillah with him. And think of this analogy, and it'll help you understand the true power of Bismillah. You have all of these problems in your life. You have money problems, health problems, family problems. You have all of these issues in your life. And they only seem to be getting worse. Nothing gets better. Then imagine one day someone comes up to you and says, here's an envelope. You can open it after 30 days. But I will tell you that there are $2 million in that envelope. But you can only open it after 30 days. Do not open it before the 30 days. You have it. Even though you don't have enough food, even though you don't have enough money to pay your bills, you have no money still on you. You are still poor, but you're the happiest person I've met. You are still walking around with shoes. And then someone comes up to you and says, why are you so happy? You don't know. 27 days, I'll tell you later. Because you have a guarantee in your hand. Whenever you get depressed, whenever you get hungry, thirsty, you just look at the envelope and you say, oh, 24 more days left. This guarantee has been given to you that you'll have a better life coming after those 30 days. All of your problems will become solved and small. No big deal because you have this guarantee. That is what happens when you call on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the guarantee in your hand. It's worth more than all the money in this world combined. And it's in your hand, and you need to believe in it. That's all. Somebody else could have that same paper and that same envelope and saying, I don't believe in it, and they rip it up. Never opening it because they're skeptical about it. The difference between you and them is that you and I are believers. We believe in the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and all of His names. In Arabic, you must have heard, probably with your Arab friends, or someone speaking Arabic, or if you yourself speaks Arabic, to call someone, you would say, Ya walad, Ya rajul, Ya kareem, Ya Abdullah, so on and so forth. You use Ya all the time when you call on someone. And when you call on someone using Ya, you do not use al, the. You don't say Ya al-walad, Ya al-rajul. But if you want to use al, you say Ya ayyuhal awlad. You don't say Ya al-walad, you say Ya ayyuhal awlad. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhal muddathir, Ya ayyuhal muzammil, Ya ayyuhal nabi. So if you want to put the alif lam, you have to use ayyuha. You can't just say Ya. But then some argue that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name has al in it. But we say all the time whenever we make dua, Ya Allah, help us, Ya Allah, guide us, Ya Allah, bless us. So from this, we can assume that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name is so unique that Arabic doesn't even suffice for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name. That whatever you do with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's unprecedented. Even the way it's pronounced. Even the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us this gift to tell us, you are dealing with someone like He is no one else. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now the last two names. The two names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He included, because these are the best of His names. And when you think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these two names should be in your head. And those are Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman simply means three things. It means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's love and mercy and care is extreme. Mubalagha, beyond whatever you can imagine. That's the first thing. The second thing, it's immediate. The second thing, it's immediate, meaning you don't have to wait for it at all. It's there already. And the third of the meanings, when you use fa'alan, which is a scary one, is that it's not permanent. It's extreme, it's immediate, but not necessarily permanent. So for example, in Arabic, when you say atshan, which means thirsty, this thirst is not permanent. When you say jawa'an, extremely hungry, extreme, it's immediate, but it's not necessarily permanent. Ghadban, extremely angry, it's not permanent. But for some people it might be, but you get the point that all of these, when it ends with alif noon, it's not permanent. The beauty of Arabic language and the beauty how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described Himself is that this kind of mubalagha, even if it's temporary, it does not go away on its own. If you are thirsty, the thirst will not go away until you quench the thirst. If you are hungry, the hunger will not go away until you fed yourself. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Rahman, the excessively loving, the excessively caring, the excessively merciful, that He has this extreme love and care for all of us, it will never go away until you remove it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never take it away from us. It's just people don't want it sometimes. And you and I, we can remove ourselves from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's mercy. A'udhu billah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never close that door on us. But many people, they will close that door. And when they open it again, does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say to them, why did you close it? I don't want you anymore. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to... He doesn't do that. The door remains open all the time. The doors of Allah's mercy and His care and love are always open for us. And then Ar-Rahim. As I leave you with Ar-Rahim, there are two things that I want to share with you about this name. It fills whatever gaps that Ar-Rahman couldn't fulfill. Ar-Rahim is permanent. It's something permanent. So don't worry. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of you right now, immediately. Ar-Rahman. If you're worried about tomorrow, He will take care of you tomorrow because He is Ar-Rahim. And this is the human psychology, that we don't think about the future. If you have a problem in the present, once your present problem has been solved, then you start thinking about the future problems. If you haven't paid this month's bill yet, you are thinking about that bill right now. Once you pay that bill, then you're thinking about next month's bill. How am I going to pay? You think about the future. So what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala do? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of your immediate needs when He said Ar-Rahman, and He took care of your future needs when He said Ar-Rahim. He took care of both your past, present, and future, and all of them in the right order. Because human beings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كَلَّا بَلْ تُحِبُّونَ الْعَاجِلَةِ, that we love what is right now, what is present. We love to rush. We love the things that are right now. We are obsessed with them right now. And we don't look at our past. We don't look at the future until whatever present is done. And with this, I end my khutbah on the beauty of just Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all and deter us from all evil and help us with whatever problems that we have. Grant us rizq, grant us stability. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم. ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم. ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم إن عذابها كان غراما. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين واحمي حوزنة الإسلام يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر دينك وكتابك وسنة نبيك وعبادك الموحدين. ربنا افرغ عليهم صبرا وثبت أقدامهم وانصرهم على القوم الكافرين. وانصرهم على القوم الكافرين يا ذو القوة المتين. نسألك بأننا نشهدك أنك أنت الله، أن تنصر الإسلام وأهله في كل مكان، أن تنصر الإسلام وأهله في فلسطين، أن تنصر الإسلام وأهله في غزة، أن تنصر الإسلام وأهله في يمن. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون، ولذكر الله تعالى وأعلى وأكبر، والله يعلم ما تصنعون. وأقم الصلاة.
أسمو وأجتاز السماء جلالا، فأزيد أسراب الغيوم جمالا.